Hey Vikings, so today is jump day. I jumped all my accounts over and I have a friend or two coming with. We are ready to get started. So I made a little mistake. I don't have enough gold to switch specs, but I don't think that's going to matter too much. I've got my construction and stuff on outside of this thing, which really is, yeah, I guess I might as well equip it. Um, and that's not what I wanted. Okay, time to go ahead and get the buffs going. So we've got Warrior's Fortress on from before. Time to put on a Bastion of the Beast for that. What, 10% construction speed? Should be the only one on the server to have this as well. And I'm not going to pop anything else yet. Let's go ahead and level up. So that's free. This next part's actually going to be just going to be a lot of upping stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and time lapse this part. So the rest of this video is going to be a little bit different than normal. The first part of this was recorded as I was actually playing. Now we're a little bit after. I am releasing these videos kind of delayed because I do kind of want to keep the server I'm on private. Just given that some of my content includes things that are probably against the TOS. Anyways, I'm doing voice overlay speed up for the rest of most of the rest of this video. Though before we get too deep into that, I'm going to go over some things with the bank and buying gold packs. So the first thing is Novice Set. These are very, very good offers. You get these at Palace level 3, 5, and 10. Most people just zip right through to 10. They don't realize that it pops up again there. If you make a jumper, when you eventually jump and you hit Palace level 10, you'll get the $10, $50 offer for $10 again. Alright, so the next part is Mega Packs. Because this account is old, it has access to Mega Packs. What you see right now, 183k gold, it's not a lot, but it's because the Palace level on this account is still level 5. Your pack offers are affected drastically by your Palace level. So you want to have access to Mega Packs, but you don't want to buy them right before you jump, or basically you want to make sure that they're going to be available when you jump, and you don't want to buy them the second you land. What you want to do is you want to rush to Palace 21 and then buy them. That way you also get the Novice Pack in the same day. Okay, so this clip is from pretty far in. What we're looking at right now is actually after I hit 21. The important thing to note here is that the offers updated the same day. So I had the 183k packs and then upgraded my Town Hall Pass 5. Nothing changed until I refreshed the game, so you do have to exit the game and re-enter it for it to update. But when you do that, you'll have the proper level Mega Packs. I do go ahead and buy all of these. The offers will go back to normal. I think it's after the next reset from what I've seen. It doesn't seem to change the same day, but just to be safe, when you have Mega Packs, just buy all of them immediately. I think this put me at like 112 million influence when I was done with it. It was a pretty big jump. The rest of the video is just going to be me talking over, God, I want to say like 8 hours worth of building. Maybe 9. It's a little funny. Forget how much clicking there actually is in this game. I was super excited about this, and about 45 minutes to an hour in, my hand was starting to hurt, and I was just like, oh man, it's going to be a longer night than I thought. I got quite a bit into this. I think I just got Palace 21. I may have done some of the barracks, manors, and I didn't get to the res fields, honestly, for a couple weeks after, a week or two after recording this. But on the bright side, I actually am kind of excited for this series. I was a little worried that it wouldn't be very interesting because, I mean, it's a browser game. There's not really that much to show, especially if you're trying not to show the map um, and anything that'll give away who you are. Um, but it's been a lot more interesting than I expected it to, and it's been a lot more time consuming than I expected it to be. Especially, I don't know if I've talked about this on previous videos. I wasn't planning on running a clan here, but having spent quite a bit of time on 4 different servers before this, I've seen uh, very few good clan leaders, and I've seen a massive amount of horrendously bad clan leaders. There's kind of a couple different levels of, a couple different types of bad clan leaders. The first type is the clan leader that doesn't have experience with the game, and thus they don't know how to make the right decisions. Um, you have clan leaders that have been playing the game, but they played in a shitty clan, and thus everything they know about the game is wrong, and they're giving out wrong information, and they're not willing to change because they think that what they know is right. That's much worse. Um, then there are the people that just don't have good decision making ability, and they don't really think rationally through like what the best option is. Um, and then the very worst, and this is kind of the most common, people that get their egos tied up very heavily in the game and make the clan and the server about them. That one just, uh, I get so frustrated every time I see it. Uh, an example though, one of my main servers had two solid English clans that shouldn't have had any issue with each other, but there was some petty drama about a tile, like a first march tile in a kingdom that was like days old and had no first march rule, which first march rule is dumb and impossible to enforce anyways, but that's another topic. But anyways, these two clan leaders took it as a personal affront. One of them did, and the other one big, got upset too, and they turned it into a scorched earth policy war, where, long story short, it kind of ruined the server. So there ended up with 3 major clans, and all of them hated each other for the first 2 months. Um, Having played there for, I think I played there for almost 6 months on my jumper. Um, one KVK win. Now the clan I was in was ended up being top on the server, and it had great players. One usually placed in the competitions. Um, I can't remember ever losing a CVC, but because the kingdom was so fragmented, they never won KVK. Like it won out of maybe, so let's say they weren't eligible for the first month, so 5 months times 4, it's really like 4.5, but we'll just go with 4. So 20 plus KVK/KVK revenges, and they won 1. Yeah, so that kind of is something that I was trying to avoid, and I decided just to bite the bullet and go ahead and run a clan on this server. So to kind of change the subject back to what's actually happening in the screen, you've probably noticed that I'm not really waiting for a whole lot of help clicks. The reason for that is, especially at the smaller queue times, if you're not going to have an infinite number of 30 or 35% building speedups, it's really going to be generally better to wait for a few clicks and then go ahead and boost the thing out just so you can have um, more things done at your higher construction knowledge, or um, I'm sorry, higher construction speed, or uh, knowledge speed. What you'll kind of see me doing here is typically waiting for about 7 to 10 clicks once I start getting a little bit further in. The reason that I'm doing that, I know that I'm I'm guaranteed 7 clicks. If you've seen my auto-it videos, then you've seen that you can kind of automate some of the Vikings process, and I have a second desktop set up right now with a whole bunch of just fake, like 2000 influence accounts that are in this clan, and I just have a little macro that's going through and jumping from tab to tab, clicking that help button. And by the time this comes out, I'll probably have a video showing that as well, how to do that. But I know that I'm guaranteed within the first 10 to 15 seconds of starting a construction that I'm going to have at least 7 or 8 help clicks. Since I'm kind of using this video to rant anyways, there's two topics sort of that I've been wanting to talk to you all about for a while. And both of these are very dangerous to your account in terms of stunting your long-term growth, and they're both present in pretty much every clan. First one is just straight up wrong information. This is the worst one. Typically it's not done maliciously, but you're still getting wrong information, and it's going to screw up your account. There's not really a great way to watch out for this, but if you're watching this video, if you're not sure about something, but you think you know, when you give someone advice on that, go ahead and throw in that caveat and say, hey, I think this is how it is, but I'm not certain. That way they don't get it into their head that, oh, such and such told me this is set in stone. And yeah, there's a lot of videos up on YouTube. It's not a ton of reading material, but you can find the answers eventually, or you can go ahead and actually just figure it out on your own. Most of this, outside of the combat mechanics, you can figure out spending 15 or 20 minutes in game, especially if you make like a secondary account that you just have as kind of a throwaway account and stick it on a new server. Join the top clan that's open, get some gold, and then use that account to kind of do some testing. But anyways, that second topic is information that's right, but it's not right for everyone. Now what I'm talking about here, the game is very different depending on how much you spend. So a non-spender is going to have a totally different experience than someone who spends $500 a week. And your goals are going to be different. The way you get to point, eventually given enough time, both people would reach the same point, but the way you get there efficiently is going to be very different. And I really consistently see this trip people up. I had one player come with me from an old server. He ran the clan on my old server, and he's the most knowledgeable person I've met in the game to date. Hands down, no questions asked. He knows the most about the game. But when he gives advice from his point of view, and that can mess you up quite a bit. So you have to really keep in mind who you're talking to when someone's giving you advice or when you're giving someone else advice. And to kind of give some examples of this, if you're a non-spender, the invader tree, now 99.9% of everyone that I've met in this game have said the invader tree is the most important. That's like your lifeblood, hands down. Put all your knowledge into there first. But if you're not a spender and you aren't going to be getting hero energy packs, then the invader tree really isn't as important for you. And the sustained attack is even less important. Everyone gets all excited about sustained attack in your hero tree, but that's like, I mean, if you're not going to be hitting more than once or twice consecutively, then really that doesn't do you a whole lot of good, does it? And for that that non-spender early to mid game. CVC, KVK has been out for a couple months. Really, the most contribution, the best way that person's going to be able to contribute is through the economics knowledge tree. So they're going to be hyper farming and producing resources, and they're going to be yielding the Ubers that the larger players knock down, but typically aren't willing to farm. That's really going to be their best point contribution to those important events. And that's a completely different hero setup, completely different knowledge setup or knowledge focus. Eventually, they do want to get to the hero tree, but it's not the most immediately necessary thing. And the last example of that I want to give, just because I see this also very frequently and it hurts, is people saying not to make any gear until you can make legendary. Now that is fantastic advice if you're a heavy spender and you're going to be able to make the legendary item in like a day or two. It's not going to hurt you to not have any gear there in the short term. But if your hero's level 45 and you have no gear on it, something's wrong. It's such a huge bonus for the construction and the learning speeds to have even a green or blue piece. And I want to say, so it's four for each upgrade. So to take a piece from gray to white, it takes 4, and then to take a piece from gray to green, which is 1 past white, it's 16 pieces. I want to say to go from green to, it was either green to yellow or blue to yellow was like 256 of them. So to make that one piece is going to set you back one of 256 parts. So it's not setting you back any, and it's giving you, at the blue stage, I think it's half of the benefit typically. Now for the other gear, yeah, you're probably not going to be attacking until you can make the legendary pieces anyways. But for the learning and construction gear, you want to have something on there as soon as possible for all of those slots, even if it's green or blue. But that's all for today. If you found this video interesting or helpful, please hit that like button down below. If you want to see more in this series or any other Vikings War of Clans efficiency videos, please hit that subscribe button, and I will see you all soon.